this ng EDSA People Power Revolution Commemoration ay wala po ngayon dito sa main event. At ilan po yung nagsasabi na parang may tampo dahil hindi nga sa EDSA Quezon City ginawa yung paggunita. Ano po yung ika nga naging dahilan kung bakit parang nagkaroon na ng revision po ng kasaysayan, Mr. President?
Revision ng kasaysayan?
Dahil
parang puwerang Cebu nung sa kasaysayan na nangyari sa EDSA. Hindi lang naman sa EDSA nagalsan taong bayan. Di ba? May Cebu, may Davao, napakarami ibang mga lugar. At palagi ko naman, time na rin, di ba? After 28 years, ma-recognize yung contribution ng iba't ibang lugar. Pag-aalsa ng taong bayan yun sa buong Pilipinas at hindi lang sa Metro Manila. Yung in previous years, I'd like you to recall, no, na may mga nagsasabi, nagre-revise ng history, na yung pag-aalsa laban sa mga Marcos ay nangyari sa Maynila lang. So, I guess I want to highlight, partly, no, one of the reasons to highlight, na hindi Maynila lang, hindi NCR lang. Marami mga ibang lugar at yung buong sambayanan ang umalsa laban kay Ginoong Marcos. Now, yung lahat ng mga key players na imbita. Pero ako 12 years old nung Marcelo, pinoklama. 54 na ako ngayon. Nakakatanda rin naman sa atin maski papano yung mga marami doon sa key players. Pagkaintindi ko, inimbita lahat. At kanina umaga sa dyaryo, nakita ko si President FBR, ginawa yung kanyang yung traditional na pagtatalon. So may participation din siya in some other commemorative activities with regards to the EDSA commemoration.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Kim Perez, TV5 Cebu.
Hello, Mr. President. We understand that part of your objective in visiting Yolanda-affected areas is to check the conditions of those affected areas. But my question is that can the funding from the national government be directly channeled to local government units? Because it has been said in the local level here in Cebu that there's a problem in implementing rehabilitation since there's no direct funding coming from the national government. And if that is possible, Mr. President, when could it happen? Thank you.
As far as Governor Davide is concerned, I that complaint, no? That is possible on a case-to-case basis dependent on the capabilities of the various LGUs, no? Marami nag-demonstrate na mahusay sila na talagang magagawa yung kinocommit. So may tinatawag na memorandum of agreement na in-specify para yung to fulfill all of the requirements under di ba, various rules and regulations, amongst them the COA stipulations, to ensure that the people's money is properly spent. So, may mga guidelines on what can be utilized and how to be utilized. And then there will have to be an assessment of the capability of each LGU, no, so that we are sure that the people's money is properly spent. So, but there is no how should I put it, direction that the national government will be very stingy and will keep all of the funds. Siguro, if at all, there is that stipulation that we are responsible for the expenditure of all of these public funds coming from the national budget. So we have to make sure that they are in conformity with not just the intent, but in all of the specifications. No? Yung magandang, our laws do not recognize magandang intent na justification. No? Dapat sumunod sa lahat ng. And that's just what we're being very careful with.
Thank you, Kim. Christian Siguera, Inquirer.
Sir, good morning.
Morning.
Sir, regarding the report that the Chinese Coast Guard fired water cannon at the Filipino fishermen, does the government consider this as a provocative act? And what has the government done since it happened reportedly January 27?
Well, sa totoo lang, no, kailangan ko lang nalaman itong incidenting to. It's working its way towards me. Pero I'm sure no, that the DFA is already preparing a formal protest. Of course, meron tayong confirmation. And confirmation normally means getting the testimonies of the people involved. No? Para may basis tayo or may sound basis at hindi speculation na the incident happened as described. Now, the first step will be a diplomatic message. No? There are various terms for these diplomatic messages directed at the People's Republic of China to ask them to explain what this incident was all about and what their directions are. Now, may I add na medyo inconsistent rin yung nangyari dyan. We're not sure at this point in time if we can call it their standard operating procedure, no? Kasi as of yesterday, we had fishermen inside the shoal. Inside the shoal who were not being harassed nor intimidated by any entity. So, naman natin mag-react kung one-off incident to that, they probably will say was acting not under their orders pero out of yung parang decision na lang ng kapitan ng particular boat na yan. But be that as it may, I think it is proper for us to ask them exactly what this incident was all about, what their intentions are. And the DFA and the DND, after conferring and after getting the necessary proof, has been, I'm sure, is already drafting the appropriate communications.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Christian. Huli po magtatanong, ang Pangulo po ng Malacanang Press Corps, Joyce Pañares sa Manila Standard.
Good morning, Joyce.
Good morning, sir. Sir, Senator Joker Arroyo has raised reservations on the appointment of former General Lina Sarmiento. And also, Mr. Rene Sagisag said that her appointment was not parang aligned with the requirement of the law because the law requires that the chairman has to have fought the atrocities of martial law. Are you considering recalling her appointment or how to address the concerns?
Okay. Hindi ako aware na meron sinabi Senator Sagisag, no? But let me address okay. Ano man practical problem nito? If, ulitin ko lang, kanina sabi ko sa speech, no? I was 12 when martial law was proclaimed. I'm now 54. Obviously, I was not a lawyer when I was 12. No? If you look at any lawyer who was a lawyer in 1972, so at least 13 years sa agwat namin. So that person who started out his career in 1972 would now be 67. Okay? Ito yung young. And there are other candidates who are in their mid-80s. There is actually one candidate for this board, in compensation board, who begged off because of age. No? Sabi niya, I will not be able to perform the duties given my advanced age and in the physical requirements. Okay. Ano ba problema sa pananaw namin? Number one, may mandate matapos yung trabaho nitong board na to within 2 years. Number two, sigurado ako na meron at least 2 kampo ayaw magkaroon ng tagumpay itong board na to. Merong ayaw magpalagay sa kasaysayan na opisyal na minsan o nagkaroon ng isang panahon na yung gobyernong itinatag para pangalagaan ang kapakanan ng sambayanan ang nangapi sa taong bayan. Okay. So, ang purpose of the law is primarily to put officially on the record na nagkamali ang Estado o ang gobyerno sa panahon ng batas militar at makabawi doon sa mga naapi. Now, may pangalawang grupo naman na tilang inaasam-asam magkaroon ng control at hindi hindi mabigyan ng maski paano mang pagkakilala at konting parang tulong dito sa mga nabiktima. So, yung kung sino man na magiging chair ng board na to, haharapin, hindi pa nga ako nagtrabaho noong unang araw si Lina Sarmiento, ang dami nang bumabanat sa kanya. Ngayon, bakit si Lina? Number one, she's approaching age of 56, which I think will give her enough the maturity, parang time for the experience, and the necessary physical ability to be able to complete the job in 2 years, and also to fend off those who would want to sabotage what this law what this law intends to do and the aim for this particular law. So, picture it, meron ka isang tao, mid-70s or 80s, na kalahati ng trabaho, i-verify yung mga talaga na biktima na in 2 years time, matapos mo yung buong proseso. And we're not just talking of 10,000 people. Each individual case dapat maprebahan, maitala sa ating official record. At sabay nun, yung lahat ng pagsasabotahe na mapaplano ng mga parang kumukontra dito sa batas na to, hindi yung labanan mo parang at palagay ko, nag-agree Commissioner on Human Rights Etta Rosales, ang ating Secretary of Justice na previously in one role in the government also was chair of the Commission on Human Rights. All 3 of us have had experience with Lina Sarmiento tackling human rights issues, which I think is the essential skill necessary. So she has the skill, she has the physical energy, she has the drive, she has the right direction to be able to accomplish the job in 2 years or less. And it is very important, once and for all, sipin niyo, 1 generation has passed, nandun ba nakatala na talagang inapi ng gobyerno ang sambayanan? Officially, hindi. Di ba? So ito ang kailangan mangyari. At ulit, palagay ko, sasang-ayon naman yung ating mga mas nakakatanda na tulad nung isang kandidato dyan sa board na tumanggi dahil nga sabi, siya mid-70s. Sabi niya, sa edad kong to, hindi ko na magagampanan yung trabaho. Tapos tingnan naman natin, hindi lang naman si Lina nandyan, board to. Tingnan natin yung track record ng lahat ng ibang membro ng board na mahaba na. So yung experience nila no martial law years, yung drive ni Lina, no, yung physical abilities, i-combine natin, ma-accomplish yung mission na itinalaga sa kanila ng batas na to.
Thank you, Mr. President. At maraming salamat makasama sa media. Magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat. Sige, pagbigyan natin yun.
Magandang umaga po, si Oscar Pineda po. Ginoong Pangulo. Pero yung po mga mayor tsaka yung po mga biktima ng bagyo dito po sa Northern Cebu ay naiinip na dahil 3 buwan na po mahigit, hindi pa po dumarating sa kanila o hindi pa sila nakakatikim ng tulong galing sa national government. Ano po ba ang reaction natin, Mr. President?
Nagre-react na ating kalihim ng welfare and development. Malabo naman yata sabihin walang dumating. Papunta kami ng Bantayan ngayon. Siguro kung matindi galit sa akin, hindi na ako pupunta ng Bantayan. No? Yeah. So, hindi ba yun na Northern Cebu?
Opo, yun po.
Oh, so, di bang pabigay ko na lang kay Secretary Soliman sa'yo lahat
Opo.
ng datos nito?
Opo.
Okay, huwag natin kalimutan, no? Ang apektadong pamilya ay ng Yolanda ay 3. Di ba? 3 plus million families. Baka 16 million na katao. Oh. Gusto ba natin na tugunan lahat ng pangangailangan bago lang ang naging pangangailangan? Oh. Pero yung physically, no? 44 of our 81 provinces. Palagay mo, no? Yung meron kaya mas makakahigit pa doon sa nagawa natin. Tapos, may relief ang pinakabuod na kailangan natin gawin ngayon. Darating yung bagyo. Yeah? 20 ang buwibisita sa atin taon-taon. Yung vulkan, traditionally may puputok. Sana naman, huwag this year. No? Marami tayo sa kunang dinadaanan. Membro tayo ng Typhoon Club at saka nung Ring of Fire. No? Ang importante, pag itinatag na, tinayo natin itong mga komunidad ulit, darating yung bagyo, hindi pareho epekto sa kanila. At malawakan yung kailangan na gawin dyan. For instance, yung no-build zones. No? Yung pupunta kami ng Leyte mamaya, yung Tacloban, yung airport na lang. As early as 2008, meron ng warning. Pag dumating yung kalahati ng hangin ng Yolanda, magkakaroon ng storm surge na between 2 to 4 meters in height. Kalahati ng peninsula, kung nasan yung airport, lulubog. Okay. So 2008 yun. Kailan dumating si Yolanda? 2013. Bakit marami namatay? Ang dami nga nando sa baybayin na hindi dapat. At yung warning nando na. So, may warning, dinadagdagan pa natin doon sa geohazard mapping na ginagawa ng DOST ngayon. Tapos sinisigurado natin na action ang lahat ng local government unit, katulong ang national government, na masiguradong hindi mapipinsala ulit na ganito ang ating mga kabayan, i-minimize ng gusto. Okay, at nandito ang datos. Okay. Sa January to March of 2014, Northern Cebu, bantayan na lang pag-usapan natin, 3,476 families are affected, na-distribute na close to 7,000 food packs for them. This is just this year, pero pa last year. No? So, ewan ko naman saan nanggali yung hindi dumarating sa kanila. No? Ngayon, baka naman pag na-transfer natin, well, sana may detalye ka kung anong lugar para masagot ka ng diretsuhan. May mga lugar, alam mo ko isang lugar, na hiningi sa amin i-turnover sa kanila yung distribution of the relief. Hindi yung paggawa ng relief, no? Hindi yung pag-ipon ng relief. Distribution lang. At unfortunately, may mga litrato tayong tangan, may mga video na nagsasabing nasa kanila hindi na pinamudmod. Pananagutin natin, bakit di mo pinamudmod na nandyan na sa'yo? As gusto, sama ka naman sa bantayan, makakita natin kung galit sila sa akin.
Meron po kaming reported na isang follow-up lang po, no? Yung pong hinihingi nilang rehabilitation po, yung relief po okay na po sila. What about the rehabilitation, Mr. President?
For what area? Mayroon nang sagutin.
Yung pong 15 towns po ng Northern Cebu na tinamaan po ng bagyo.
Okay. Mga municipal hotspot, palengke, etc.
Nga yung may anong papel ng ilang dito.
Halika yan, Lord. Kabayan, napakahusay ng tanong mo. Napakaraming datos na maliliit yung font.
Pamanin niyo po.
Okay. Pero bantayan, school buildings alone, they need 253 classrooms, 133 million. No? RHU, Rural Health Unit 3, It cost us 17 million. Multi-purpose barangay halls, 28, 37 million. Public market, isa, 5 million. Total of 191 million. I understand the funds are ready. Okay? Meron tinatawag, may mga proposals na sinubmit. Dinadaan lang na ninigurado tayong yung parang verification tawag no, na tama. Kunyari, ilalagay mo ulit sa parehong lugar na mapanganib dahil sa flood o ano, hindi tayo papayag. No? So, yung verification yun na ibig sabihin nun. No? Meron kasing programa, ultimong pagtulong sa pagbabalik ng mga munisipyo. Pero pa yung other infrastructure tulad ng palengke, siyempre yung automatic, yung karsada, tulay, restoration ng kuryente. Sa bantayan. Ang daming public market sa palengke. Dito ano? 1, 2, 3, 4. Apat. Okay. Meron pang, besides the main, pagkaintindi ko, main public market, meron pang apat na nire-request sa barangay poblasyon. Lahat ito, barangay poblasyon. Lahat ito, barangay poblasyon. Apat na maliliit sa palengke. Different parang modules. So, yung meron mga ibang lugar naman humingi for instance ng gymnasium, no? Yung gymnasium, yan ba talagang immediate need? Hindi, kasi baka naman gagawing evacuation center. Kung evacuation center siya, i-review natin, number 1, wala siya sa danger zone. Number 2, merong gagawing intervention ng DPWH sa kung saan yung ilalim nitong mga public facilities, gagawin natin parang Japan. May pupuntahan yung tubig. Ang tawag na doon ay catchment, okay, mga cisterns, etc. So pag tinayo natin, pag sinabing build back better, hindi mo dadalhin lang yung basketball court. Pero yung basketball court nasa taas nung cistern, nung catchment basins, para may pupuntahin yung tubig kung alam natin na may patungong ba doon. So, yung, alam mo baka dapat interviewin nyo yung mga foreign aid workers, no? UN and others, no? Dahil sila, ang parating umabot sa akin, binabanggit, nung may nagkaroon na trahedya sa Haiti, o yung nagawa natin raw sa isang buwan, nagawa dun sa lugar na yon in 1 year. Okay. Siyempre, ako dama ko. Wala ka, katulad yung pinuntahan natin Kapos Davao Oriental, wala pa silang kuryente. Pinapaliwanag ko ngayon lahat ng kakulang departamento. Bakit naman 1 year, over a year later, hindi pa nababalikan to? Tapos yun, medyo bureaucracy lang talaga. Nagkaturuan, nagkapasahan kung sinong dapat tumugon. Ngayon, pinadama ko na sa kakulang mga ehensya na hindi ako natutuwa sa kanila. Ibig sabihin nun, by next week, pinapollow up ko, kailan na ba magkakaroon ng kuryente itong Malawakan or kailan kayo magsasubmit na resignation nyo. No? Dalawa lang yun eh. No? Simple lang naman akong kausap eh. May trabaho tayo lahat, gawin nyo yung trabaho nyo or sorry. Okay, now, yung, tingnan nyo yung listahan, no? Haba talaga dito eh. Lahat lang kailangan i-bet, okay? I-bet back, tama to, kasi kailangan na yung tatayo natin, makakatulong doon sa komunidad na higit kaysa doon sa dating tinutulong nito mga iba't ibang mga infrastruktura. Sa Bantayan in particular, magdi-distribute o nakadistribute? I-distribute today, 100 mga bangka para makatulong doon sa mga mangingisda. No? Panguna pa lang yan, meron pa mga ibang parating. Tapos, itong araw na to, marami rin tayong mga private organizations na tumulong, nagtayo ng palengke, nagtayo ng munisipyo, ospital. No, nag-commit sila na sila ang tatayin, tumutulong sa gobyerno para maibalik natin ang mga komunidad sa mas maayos na kondisyon kaysa nung dating binatan nila. Okay. So ako pakiusap ko lang, no, para namang, di ba, para baka pwede natin i-highlight yung mga hindi naman obligadong tumulong, tumutulong. No? Baka naman may maengganyo pa tayong iba na gusto pa rin tumulong. No? Pero kung sasabihin lang natin, di ba, 3 plus million families, 16 million people. Maghahanap tayo ng isa o dalawa o tatlo o maski na 100. No? Pero kakalimutan natin yung 16 million minus 100. No? Hindi natin interview yung kabila. Hindi naman tama yata yung kwento nangyayari. Okay, hindi biro magpakain ng 100, parang 100. Eastern Visayas, 280,000 families have to be taken care of daily, di ba? Or, di ba? Teka muna, every 2 days. Every 2 days, 140,000 food packs per day production na kukunin nyo either from Mindanao or from Luzon. Just to, and I'd like to pay special mention to everybody in government and outside of government, yung volunteers na bumalik dahil hindi na ma-accommodate nung repacking centers at the time. Yung mga pinakailaman na natin, ultimo yung truck ban at the time. O ito makukuha ng supply sa factory sa Batangas, sa Laguna, dadalhin sa repacking centers, baka naman hulihin pa dahil nagbabayad itong truck ban. Pinakailaman natin yun. Yung head ng Marina, no, nagkaroon ng congestion doon sa port sa Sorsogon, Matnog. Hindi ko siya, pinadala ko sa doon at hindi ko siya pinalis hanggang nabuksan na yung pangalawang port at nawala na yung congestion doon. So, in fairness to him, no, he didn't delegate the job. He went there himself and he asked permission when it was finished to be able to allow to go back to Metro Manila. At marami tayong masabing ganong kwento. And dito ko lang, no, ang laki ng problema, more than half of our provinces were affected, no? And I think yung government demonstrated that we may not have been perfect, no, and I'll admit that. Pero para sabihin na we didn't exercise a maximum effort, medyo over naman yata yun.
Salamat po.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you Mr. President. At muli, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.